Healing Minds and Souls, a faith-based community dedicated to bringing trauma-informed care to the North Nashville community and surrounding areas through education, resources, and building relationships to develop healthy and a holistic community. Pastor Ella Clay will be talking about how we can stop allowing fear to overtake us regardless of our past, present, or future. Come and learn how to recognize signs and symptoms of trauma as we understand the emotional, physical, social, and spiritual impact of traumas. We will unpack the meanings of vicarious traumas and how to avoid moral injury as we actively avoid re-traumatizing ourselves and others. Let's learn together how to navigate life challenges of grief, trauma, pain, and/or isolation, and discover our innate strengths of courage, kindness, trust, perseverance, and become better equipped to experience a newfound confidence by not letting circumstances define our current existence or future selves. Join our show today with Pastor Ella Clay. She serves as senior pastor of the historic First Community Church and executive director of Healing Minds and Souls, 1815, Knoll Street, Nashville, Tennessee, 37208.
Good morning. Welcome to Healing Minds and Souls. This is a great morning, a morning that God has made, and we are rejoicing and we're so glad in it. We're glad that the earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof, and all of us that dwells in. So we can be excited. We can be grateful no matter what's going on, no matter what the political climate is, no matter what's going on in our lives. We can rest assured that God is with us. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be right back after we hear from our sponsors.
Wade's Lawn Service is your one-stop solution for all your outdoor needs. We offer comprehensive residential and commercial lawn care, expert landscaping and design, professional fertilization, leaf blowing, and seasonal maintenance services. Our team of skilled professionals will transform your outdoor space into a stunning oasis, boosting your property's curb appeal and value.
Hello, my name is Deborah Wade, and this is my husband, Ira Wade, and we are here at Wade's Lawn Service, located at 1215 Louisville Highway.
Don't let lawn care stress you out any longer. Visit www.wadeslawnservice.com or call us at 615-766-8347 today to experience the difference of a well-maintained, beautiful lawn without the hassle.
Hello, welcome. We are Crossroads Campus. So happy to have you guys here. I'll take you and show you through. I'm the program director. My name is Eric Davis, and I've been here for about 7 months now. So who we are, we help young adults in the community, ages 18 to 24, facing severe poverty and homelessness. And what we do is provide them opportunities to kind of get back on their feet and work back in the community, coming down to our Crossroads campus through our job training program as well as our affordable housing program. So right here is our pet retail store. It's a social enterprise. Our young adults here pretty much help us, they assist us with running the store. So they're learning different universal skills, whether it's working the register, whether it's customer service, whether it's marketing, things like that.
So as part of our job training program, we have 4 areas that we have our interns focus. We have the animal care, so they go through animal skills or animal care. We have a retail skills chart of all the things that they learn while they're in retail. We also have a bakery operation where we go off into an industrial kitchen. They learn food certification services, and they learn how to use the industrial cooking areas. And they make dog treats that are for sale in the store and through other stores in the Nashville area. And we also have our grooming skills chart. So in each of these, we have different skills starting from very beginning in both animal care and grooming. It's learning about animal body language, what to expect, how to work with those animals, how to communicate with those animals. In the retail, it's basic customer service, how to answer the phones, product information, how to use a computer system. So they learn different things that we are hoping that they will be able to use in the rest of their life to create a sustainable living situation for each of the interns that goes through our program.
Here at Crossroads Campus, we are a job training program, an animal care program, an animal adoption program, and an affordable housing unit. Crossroads Pets is the place where we believe that people and animals connect.
Are you looking for one-of-a-kind clothing that perfectly expresses your unique style? Then Bonita's fashions are for you. Our custom-made garments are not only stylish, but also constructed with the highest attention to detail and craftsmanship. With So Savoir Faire, you can be sure that each piece has been carefully tailored to fit you perfectly and will make you proud to wear it. Give us a call today or visit our website to find the perfect outfit for any occasion. You'll be glad you did.
Hello, my name is Glenn Carter. I'm the owner here at Carter's Family Florist. We've been serving over Nashville and the middle of Tennessee for the last 25 years. We do flowers for all occasions. We do weddings, funerals. We send flowers out of town. I have a host of plants, corsage for the prom, a dozen roses at Valentine, a dozen roses for Mother's Day. We do balloons, fruit baskets, and things of that nature, and we do deliver. So always come to Carter's Family Florist when you're in need of your flower needs. Address is 1822 26th Avenue North. That's Nashville, Tennessee, 37208. My phone number is 615-256-3777. Thank you for choosing Carter's Family Florist.
On this morning, we have Miss Aretha Nelson, an early childhood certified family support specialist from Nashville, Tennessee, and an early childhood family associate of Anaheim. She has spent 25 years working in the special education with experienced institutions such as Metro Schools in Tennessee and Clayton County Public Schools in Jonesboro, Georgia. And also certified registered behavior technician. One of her most proudest moments in her career was when she worked with the children and participated in the Nashville Connection program in Tennessee, Voice for Children Home, 1999 through 2004. During her time there as an employee in her leisure time, she finds solace in reading novels and passion that she deeply cherished. We also have this morning with us Miss Gracie Stubbs. She is ready, set, and grow. Program manager for Middle and East Tennessee. She has been with Tennessee Voices for just under 5 years. She has a bachelor's degree in psychology and a master's degree in special education with the emphasis of applied behavior analysis. She has both a passion for working with families and educators to help them understand challenging behavior and social emotional development. Thank you both for being with me on this beautiful morning.
Yeah, thank you for having us. We're really excited to be here.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. Listen, I love this. The work that you're doing is such an important work now as we look across the landscape of our state and society as a whole, behavior, health care for children, and helping the educators and families, right, to do the work, coming alongside with their families to help their children better. How did both of you all land in this? And so what's the impetus for you doing the work that you do?
Do you want to start?
Well, I like doing the work is because I have kids that has autism and ADHD, that means attention deficit disorder, and I wanted to be able to help other families to be able to help with their children.
Good.
Yeah, and I actually started right out of college working I was a caseworker for severe mental health, and I loved the work that I did, but I saw this posting online and for early childhood services, and I was like, I love kids. I would love to get back into this. So I stepped into my role, what was then as the early childhood specialist. We were a team of 2. for the whole state. And then about a year and a half after I joined the team, we expanded from a team of 2 to a team of, I believe we're almost around 25 to 27 staff now. So we greatly expanded with some additional grant funding, and I have grown in the program as I've been here. But I have always loved kids, but in college I grew this love of pairing early childhood and psychology together, and learning behavior. And then as I was in college, I worked in a daycare setting that really challenged me in a different way, and learning all of these kiddos and their challenging behaviors, and what was appropriate for children and what was appropriate for teachers, and how they responded to children. And so it was just really up my alley, and I have grown in my passion for it so much more since I have been in Tennessee Voices.
Absolutely, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And I think again, the work that you're doing is just so much needed, and we are certainly grateful for the work. I thought about you saying that when we have our own challenges, how God will position us to help others, which brings us kind of full circle. In life, I believe that nothing is just happenstance, that it all works out no matter what we're going through. And so even you said with your own experiences of a child, right, with special needs,
Yes.
how it makes you sensitive to the hearts of others. And parents need that, they're dealing with so many personal issues, and then having a child that they're wanting to really train and develop. And then your passion, again, loving children. So we need individuals who love kids, who are willing to be compassionate enough, patient enough,
Yes.
and have all the other tools that will help the children to become successful. So let me ask you this. As you are working with children, there's this thing that's called ACEs, Adverse Childhood Experiences. And so can you all talk a little bit about that and what that really means? Because we hear a lot of terms a lot of times, but to explain to our listeners what these terms mean, because we all have, right, all of us. So can you kind of walk us through what that means and what we look for?
Yeah, for sure. So adverse childhood experiences are traumatic events that occur before the age of 18. They're events that cause toxic stress that can harm a child's health or development. And so some of these ACEs you would consider to be abuse, whether that be physical, emotional, sexual abuse, physical or emotional neglect, possibly a parent struggling with substance abuse or mental illness. It could be domestic violence, a parent being incarcerated, divorce could be, or separation of the parents. Witnessing community violence is one that has been added in as the research has gone on. It wasn't one of the original ones, but there's been research done over ACEs the research started in the 90s, so it's been going on for years now, and the results keep showing the same kind of thing, that this toxic stress can impact a child's physical health and mental health. And so they're very common. The CDC reported that 1 in 5 high school students have reported having 4 or more ACEs. And with these ACEs being a form of toxic stress, which is stress that's not good for the brain. So with so there's different kinds of stress. There's stress that is a healthy stress, for example, studying for a test, or maybe learning a new skill or something like that. But then there's toxic stress that is going to severely impact a child's health. And we know that there are different ways that we can decrease these ACEs, and that's by bringing in these positive childhood experiences, by surrounding the child with loving adults and caregivers. So our supports is one way that we can support with ACEs, and bringing in Ready, Set, Grow services. So we utilize the pyramid model framework, which is a framework for a school-based setting, but we bring it home too, into the homes with a pairing called Positive Solutions for Families. And that's essentially a framework that's really made for promoting social emotional development and preventing challenging behavior in the classroom or with positive solutions for families in the home environment. And so with the pyramid model, we're looking at things like building nurturing and responsive relationships, high quality supportive environments. We're looking at explicitly teaching social emotional skills like friendship skills, emotion regulation. We're looking at problem solving, emotional literacy, so knowing their emotions and how to describe them and how to recognize when their emotions are out of check or they're overstimulated or they're angry and they're at the point of maybe having an outburst or something. These are all skills that I always say that kids don't come out of the womb knowing how to make a friend or how to regulate their emotions. And oftentimes, I think it's just how we've been cultured over years of like, you need to calm down. But what we're not realizing is that child might not know how to calm down. And when you pair all of these traumatic events that a child might have, with these children having 4 or more ACEs, that threshold for emotion regulation or their ability to do this stuff on their own, it lowers, it decreases. And so it's really important for us as positive adult influences in these children's lives to teach these children the way that we want to see them behave, because then when they know how to behave, they know how to regulate, they can stay in the classroom, they can learn, and then we see all of these increases in the ability to graduate from high school, to get good grades, to make good choices, and so that's about all I have for ACEs. Yeah.
Anything for us, Ms. Aretha? Anything?
ACEs have taught me how to be able to understand my own kids' behavior. And behavior has a meaning. If something is going on with them, then it's a meaning. And it's not just a behavior. They're wanting something. They need something from us. That's what I think.
That's pretty powerful when you think about that, because I even think about adults as it relates to ACEs, because oftentimes adults, we don't know how to regulate ourselves. Right? When we want something, we want it. Yeah. So if we could step back and use these tools, right, and the information, we could persevere better, and also modeling for children what they need to be and become. And so you said something that I thought was interesting, that children come out of the room not knowing how to make friends, right? And that's one train of thought. But then my train of thought and my perception is that children, from what I see, they come out of the womb most of the time automatically just a loving and a caring child, smiling, and it's important that they are in the right type of environment so that they can be nurtured. I even think about, I'm going to use racism for an example. Oftentimes kids are not even aware of races until they're taught, this is black, this is white. Because you can see children and babies, they're just, smiling and cooing and wanting to be in relationship with everyone. So I think that there's something that we have to explore even more. And that's why it's so important to have healthy parents, right? Yes. Because healthy parents are able to nurture children in the way that they should go, and again, to keep building on being kind, being compassionate, being loving, knowing how to socialize in a proper way, because kids, they oftentimes socialize like the parents socialize.
Yes.
And you said something too, Aretha, that it has taught you. So again, how can we teach our children until we are taught?
Exactly.
Were you going to say something, Gracie?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So give me just a little bit more history about your program and the founder and how it got started, because I think it's time. We need something additional assistance in metro school systems and in our communities. Can you give us some information about that?
Yeah, so we were founded by Tipper Gore. She actually was pursuing mental health services herself for a child, and she, did I say that right? Okay, great. I'm looking at Anna because she knows more of the history from me.
Hi,
I'm
Anna.
sorry. Hopefully you can cut that out. Hopefully you can cut that out. So we were founded by Tipper Gore. She was pursuing mental health services for her own child, or she had learned of someone else that was pursuing mental health services. But essentially, she realized that there wasn't a whole lot available in Tennessee, and so we started as a small program, or it's a small organization, and then we have developed into this nonprofit. I can tell you when I started that there were likely maybe less than 100 employees, and now we're well over 200, because we have expanded, because thankfully the state has seen that this is needed. It's very much needed across the state. And so with Ready, Set, Grow particularly, we started in 2010, and we were known as the Early Childhood Program. We were awarded the Child Care Consultation Grant, and that's where I was saying we were a team of 2, and so then in 2021 we applied for the Tennessee Resiliency Project grant, and were awarded a portion of that in 2022, which took our team, like I had said, from a team of 2 to a team of 25 to 27. I don't know the exact number now, but we have grown dramatically. And so our grant originally started just in the schools, and school-based services, and so we were doing just child center consultation, which I can explain that service in a minute, classroom coaching. So something that's really unique about our program is we don't work directly with the children, we work directly with the adults. So we're teaching the adults how to teach these children, because if you get a teacher that we're just working one-on-one with the child, that teacher's still not going to feel equipped and confident in her ability to handle the challenging behaviors when we're gone. And so we do the same thing for parents now. And so we worked with just in the schools, and then when the Tennessee Resiliency Project came in, we realized.
Let me ask you a question. So do you primarily work with the special education teachers, or is it
No, all teachers.
Okay.
Yes, so I can go over that in just a second. So we started with teachers. When the Tennessee Resiliency Project came along, we were like, wow, we really need to expand this to families. Families need this. And we know what good it can do for families. And so we wrote in an asset of adding in our family support specialists, which something I love so much about family support specialists is that to be a family support specialist, to be able to even be hired as one, you have to have gone through that experience yourself of having a child with a mental health diagnosis, or challenges in that aspect. And so each of our family support specialists on our team alone, we have 8 across the state. For each of our family support specialists, they have had a challenge of their own with a child or someone that they have been a caregiver of, having either a mental health diagnosis or some kind of challenge with behavior, mental health. And so when we added in the school and family services, we learned that they pair really, really well together. When we can have consistency across the board between the families and the school, then we can really bridge that gap and provide consistency, which is what a child needs across the board. And so I don't know if you want me to explain our services now, since I've alluded to it. Yeah. So with the Ready, Set, Grow program, we offer, I kind of say, 2 avenues of services. And so one is going the school route, one is going the home route. And to be able to be a part of our program, the requirements are that you're a resident of Tennessee, so you live within the state. You are either you're a caregiver, a parent, a teacher of a child 0 to 8. So for a child to
And how would individuals, if they want to get in contact with you, how would they reach out?
Yeah, so we have a website, tnvoices.org, or they can call the phone number 615-269-7751. I believe that's correct. But that's how they would get in contact with us. They would go, if they were navigating our website, they could click on programs, and then it would list. We have lots of programs. We're just one program of many, but they would just click on the Ready, Set, Grow, and they could make a referral that way. They don't have to have all kinds of information. We'll get into that when we're talking to the parents, doing the referral source. But really, we just need to know the contact information for the parents and the child's name.
We're really grateful for the work, and it's sure, again, has developed and continues to develop. And so, again, it's very, very, very important work. I want to ask you all a question, and I guess I'll start with Ms. Aretha. Why do you think, I'm sure there have always been mental and behavioral health care concerns as children, but it appears to me that the numbers are growing in a really staggering way. Why do you think that is?
I think a lot of people feel like that when they talk to people, that people don't listen. And then they have to keep repeating themselves to many different people to try to get someone to help them. And in my case, it was that I was trying to get help for my kids, but people didn't know how to help me. So I had to try to navigate the system to try to find someone who knew about the behaviors that my kids was having, so that way they could be able to stay in daycares and be able to stay in school to help them. And it seemed like now, since we've been having like COVID and stuff like that, and a lot of kids haven't been socializing. And now, since they're back socializing, they need to learn how to back socialize with kids that they have lost their socialization when they was at home.
And that's another challenge to the COVID epidemic, right? So the COVID, it shut us down for a period of time, and that was just another episode within itself. And again, to help kids to be re-socialized back and help adults to be, re-socialized back into society is really, really an important thing that we have to. And the other thing I think about too is the social media. Because everybody's so focused, our heads are down, grandparents, great-grandparents, children. And so that prevents a lot of the socialization that we need, but we don't get. I think about, and it was many, many years ago, but when we would eat dinner, we all would be at our dinner table eating. And now people are eating dinner in their rooms, just different parts of their houses and not the socialization. So if you don't get it at home, right, it's really going to be hard when you go out in society. What do you think the reasons are, Gracie, why we're having that challenge, when you're seeing so much of behavior and mental health care challenges?
Yeah, I think there's some different contributing factors to it. I think that we are seeing a rise because we're starting to see a little bit of a decrease in the stigma around mental health. And so it's becoming more talked about. Mental health, any diagnosis and that sort used to be kind of hush-hush. Back in the 1900s, people were sent to institutions for mental health diagnosis. And so, I think that we're seeing a decrease in the stigma, thankfully, that, it's okay if you need to go and get mental help. It's okay if you need to go get therapy or talk to someone about struggles that you're having. So I think that's one rise. I think you alluded to social media, and that's something that I think the mental health field is very aware of, that we are seeing, is we see a lot of kids on screens. We see a lot of parents on screens, and so you're not getting those interactions. You're not seeing children playing with each other anymore. They'll sit beside each other on their screen or their tablet playing together. And I love what you said about we used to sit around the dinner table, because that was something I loved growing up, as my parents were really insistent that all phones were left in rooms. We turned the TV off and we had dinner together, and that's something that I'm trying to uphold in my own family, because it was honestly where our connection happened as a family. My parents have 5 kids. We were all in sports and different things, different activities, but the dinner table is where we were all able to come together and connect. And so I think that we have lost a sense of importance on connection, those nurturing and responsive relationships. And I truly believe that all parents want what's best for their kids. No matter what struggles the parent is going through, I truly believe that it's rare that you have a parent that doesn't want the best for their kid.
Even if they don't know how to get the best, they still desire the
even
best.
if they don't know how to do it themselves. And that's where we can come in as Tennessee Voices, whether we be supporting the parent in the parenting realm, but we call in we help get the parent set up with our outpatient therapy services, where they can access, if they don't have insurance or their insurance is undercovering, we can help them through the Behavioral Health Safety Net grant, and they can get free services, free therapy services.
Wonderful. That is really important.
Yeah.
Can you speak just a little bit more, so they would still contact Ready Set?
So they would contact just Tennessee Voices. So if you go on Tennessee Voices, on the website, there's going to be a make a referral button at the top. And they can still get to our program if needed through that make a referral button. They can get to any program. So they would just type in there, this is what I'm needing. And then we as Tennessee Voices would take it from there as to, okay, this is what you're needing. This is what we can offer to you. And the vast majority of our services with Tennessee Voices are free or low of cost, or if they have TennCare, they would cover those services. We do have for our outpatient services, they do have a sliding scale if there is, they're wanting to pay out of pocket, for example. But if there's not insurance or their insurance is undercovering, then we do have the Behavioral Health Safety Net grant that will pay for their therapy.
And the ages again are from?
For outpatient, it's 3 ages 3 and up. So, and
you say up, how far up?
Through adult.
That is wonderful to know.
Yes, they're adults.
Wonderful.
Yes, so that is something that's really neat. As we started as Tennessee Voices for Children, but I want to say it was around 2020 we changed to just Tennessee Voices, because we're serving the lifespan now. So actually, last year we merged with the organization Nurture the Next, and so they have become part of Tennessee Voices, and so that took our services from being birth to adulthood, to being even prenatal. We're serving these moms prenatal.
So when you say you're serving prenatal, right, are the mothers having challenges? Are they recognizing
Yes, so we have a couple of different programs within Tennessee Voices that can serve prenatal, of course. We outpatient therapy, of course, can serve a mom who is pregnant. We also have a maternal mental health grant, and so this is specific for mothers who are expecting, and I believe that it can go through once they do have the baby for so long, but so that they can get therapy services, and as well as our evidence-based home visiting. And so
with the mothers that are expecting, about how many mothers are you serving? Do you know the numbers?
I'm not with that grant, and so I'm not quite sure. I do know that we're open.
Probably after the podcast.
I'm not with that grant. I just know that we're that we have it and we want to promote it, because as me being a young mother, I know how heavy postpartum can be, how hard, being a first-time mom can be, of preparing mentally for, having a child in this new experience that's coming on, and, whether it be unexpected or expected, that's a big concept to get your head around as a woman. And so I love that this is a newer grant to Tennessee Voices here within the last year, and so I love that it's available to anyone.
You all have just been amazing and have shared so much wonderful information, and we certainly again commend you for the work that you're doing and the work that will be done in the future. Miss Aretha, what else do you want to share with us on this morning? What else is on your heart?
What's on my heart is I love working with families. I love being able to teach a family how to be able to help with the child behavior. And then after they teach the child the behavior, and then the parents be like, oh wow, they really get it, they get it. You might have to do the routine more than once to get the child to understand, but after they get that understanding, you can see that child smile, and it's just a good feeling inside my heart for them to be able to navigate.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm sure you're excellent at doing that too. And again, to do this work, you have to have the heart to do it. First, of course, everything goes back to God for me. You have to have the heart of God. I think about the scripture when the disciples was trying to push the children away. Jesus said, "Allow them to come unto me." And the thing about children, when we allow them to come, when we meet them at their need, they have so many gifts and so many talents, and oftentimes they'll end up teaching us things that we're not even aware of. So having that open mind, right? Yeah. Someone said that the reasoning behind them acting, right, the way that they're acting is a cause and it's a reason, but to be able to want to address that and to assist them in that.
Yes.
Yeah. But do you have any final words for us, Gracie?
I can attest to Miss Aretha's wonderful work. I truly look up to her, and she's definitely, I oversee all of our consultants, and so she's boots on the ground. She's working with these families all of the time, and I even call her and ask for advice on my 2-year-old sometimes, and she gives it, and I'll come running back to her and say, Miss Aretha, it worked. I think the last thing that I'd like to say is, Tennessee Voices is here to help, and, just if you're struggling, feel free to reach out to us, because if we can't serve you as Tennessee Voices, we're going to do our best to be able to connect you to someone that can, depending on your circumstance. And so we're here to help. We're ready to help, and we would love to hear from everyone, and get to know more of this community.
Thank you. And I'm even thinking of individuals I can refer them to Tennessee Voices. So one of the challenges that individuals have when they're wanting assistance for their families, there's a transportation that's a barrier. Do you have anything in place to help individuals get to? Yeah, so because our services are in the homes and the schools, so we go to the schools, and then we go to the homes, or we can offer virtual services. I know for the rest of Tennessee Voices, a lot of them come to the families. In our outpatient services, I'm not sure if we could coordinate transportation, but I do know that they offer virtual sessions as well. Yes. Thank you. That's wonderful to know. Are you one of the ones that go into the families today?
Yes. Okay. I love going into the homes to help the families.
Wonderful.
And I also want to let the families know that they're not alone. We're here to help and to serve them.
Bless you. Bless you all. Thank you so much for being with us on this morning. I have learned so much, and I have information that I'm going to take back and share with my congregation, with the community. And again, we are grateful for the work that you're doing. Continue to stay on the wall. Yeah. Don't come down, as I would call it. Thank you for joining us on this morning. God bless you. God keep you. May God's face continue to shine upon you and be merciful unto you and give you peace. We'll see you again on next week.